Hello and welcome to another Raggy's beer review. We're going over to Lenton Lane Brewery, based in what I would call the Lenton area of Nottingham. So it works out quite well. They're called Lenton Lane. Um, Here's the beer, Laterbase, and it says on the front New Zealand IPA, bottle conditioned ale, 5.7%. Store upright, pour gently, serve cool. Literally bought this a couple of weeks ago, I think. Or did my son get it me for Christmas? I think my son got it me for Christmas. So, here we go. In my Lenton Lane glass. Cracking glass. You can get this on their website. And doing lots and lots of ales coming from them, and I've had quite a few different casks. Whenever I'm out and about in a pub, I shall always try and get one of their beers on cask. You know it. And there we are, Laterbase, New Zealand IPA, Lenton Lane Brewery. So, as we can see, slight haze on this. Unless that's just from the cold. Good bit of carbonation going off on the inside. 5 mils of white head. Subtle tropical aroma on the top. And with being New Zealand, it should have tropical aroma. Ooh, that's nice. Really quite flavourful as well. I couldn't tell you what the actual fruit was that I'm supposed to be getting. All I know is very tropically in its taste. And like I say, Lenton Lane Brewery smashing it with their beers. Lots of different beers. Most of them, to be fair, in the between 3 and 3.7, I think, and 6%. Don't seem to get many big beers off them. I'd love the gang down there to maybe challenge themselves to something different and push boundaries. At least every once in a while, at least. You know, like a big imperial stout, a sour, ghost sour, you know, same sort of thing. And then try different, you know, I love the local breweries, but it's always interesting when somebody, you know, I mean, pale ales are great. They're what sell. You know, most people who go into cask pubs, they'll be looking for the pale ale, something about 4.5%. Oh, that's it. Jobs are good. And but obviously, on the trial kit that they've got, there's always that ability to do something and put it into bottle, something bigger, and you know, push the boundaries a little bit. But in any case, you know, they must be working really hard down at Lenton Lane Brewery, because they've actually gone out and bought a load more casks. And in a time where we worry, you know, people who look at the beer industry worry about breweries disappearing, and they are disappearing. It's good to see that breweries, breweries are bucking that trend. And that is always good. I look round at local breweries, and we've got some good, strong breweries in Nottingham. I've not heard of any concerns. Obviously, it's tough at the moment. Trading's tough. You know, you've really got to work for your money. You have as a gardener. No one replied yet. Today's work. Miserable swines. Did that video go through? But yeah, you know, to be winning in a time where oh, no, it didn't go through. That's why no one's replied. Put it there. Yeah, to be winning in a time when it is so tough to trade is an amazing thing. You've got to take your hats off to the breweries these days and what they do, being lean and mean, lean breweries, operating on, pretty much as little staff as they can to, so they're not paying out lots of overheads. Not easy when you've got pubs, mind you. I mean, the one good thing about Nottingham is that the likes of Lenton Lane are in a lot of pubs, and the Nottingham breweries do play well together. I do think, on the whole at least. So yeah, I've rattled along. Now I need a beer. I mean, even near me in Sherwood in Nottingham, there was a bar called Jenkins, and they had a load. They didn't have it on draft, and I suppose it's tough for bars, and bars that aren't open 7 days a week. It's tough to sell cask, because with cask you need to be getting through a cask in literally 3 or 4 days, or up to a week maybe, but no longer than that. It starts to go, once you crack it open, like you would a barrel at home. Once that barrel's cracked, you've got to be drinking that. Which will be interesting for me when I do my Raggy beer festival at the wedding, my wedding vows, because I may need to keep some in reserve and not crack open everything straight away, just so that I don't end up at the end of the night with 20 little mini kegs, with all about half full, because you've only got so many days, haven't you? And I'm hoping to get, at that time of the year, July, to get some mini kegs from Lenton Lane, if they even do mini kegs. I've only bought in bottles, so I'm not sure on that. Although I do watch the website, and I can't remember ever seeing mini kegs coming through. So I'll have to keep my beadies out on that, or bagging boxes. So yeah, I have to keep my beadies out on that as well. Yeah, not sure. Really flavourful coming across. Probably could be doing a bit with being a little bit warmer in the grand scheme of things. It's quite cool down here tonight. I'm absolutely frozen, and I'm flitting between the shed and the beer room for reviews. So you'll notice that some are in the shed, some are in the beer room, and but yeah. So easy drinking. Subtle tropical nose, certainly tropical on the flavour, and a good punchy flavour, to be fair. I won't call it craft beer, but I'd certainly call it a good, quite strong modern traditional. So yeah, first time ever had it. 5.7%. Bought it for me by my son for Christmas, and here we are, Laterbase, Lenton Lane, doing some amazing beers. And chopping and changing beers, different flavours in beers, like the stouts and stuff. All these things make Lenton Lane very interesting, especially to the pubs around Nottingham, who are trying to entice people to the pubs by having an ever-changing selection of beers. So, always good to have a beer that you rebrew, always. But it's always good to have some new beers as well, and see what sticks. Keep throwing it out the wall and see what sticks. For me, a good 4.2 out of 5 for this beer. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. See you soon.